Well, it is a Betway Premiership, and we call this Friday Night Lights. And this time around, your World of Champions Super Sport has traversed its way all the way to KwaZulu-Natal, where tonight we kick off the weekend's fixtures with Durban City playing host to Stellenbosch. But the weekend gets so enthralled, and of course, it's all about the title. When you look at Saturday, we do have a horde of fixtures that would definitely be lipping fixtures. You do have the likes of Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns in action. Then, of course, on Sunday, you also do have Sekhukhune United up against Kaizer Chiefs. And those are the weekend's fixtures, as most of the teams in the Betway Premiership play. They match day 28 and 27, of course, with 3 or 2 games remaining. But, of course, right here at the Chatsworth Stadium, you do have the home team that is Durban City. A Durban City who are still basking in the heights and the lights of being crowned Nedbank Cup champions for the very first time. That, of course, is quite important to the citizens tonight, knowing that they are facing off with their former mentor. That is the mentor who is now at Stellenbosch. That is Gavin Hunt, who arrives today with Stelli's side, who unfortunately in their last encounter conceded 2 goals against Orlando Pirates in the first half. But Stelli's side, who are also still stern to get into those precarious top 8 position, as they've got 3 games remaining in the Betway Premiership. The question is, can they do it tonight at Chatsworth Stadium away from home? But of course, we are here tonight to bring you Durban City against Stellenbosch. Well, then, of course, when we speak about the teams arriving here, we arrived quite a couple of hours ago trying to enjoy KZN, and I have come through with an astute team. I've got Mr. 2020 himself, that is Brian Mate, and of course, Siyankosi. Gentlemen, good evening. I think right now everybody has their eyes glued to the Betway Premiership, especially looking at what the midweek results were, and as we go into the weekend. But we kick it off tonight with Durban City against Stellenbosch, and both these teams battling, well, for Durban City to remain in the top 8, for Stellies to actually make it into the top 8, which is really, really precarious for Stellies, who consecutively finish in 3rd place.
Yes, and they didn't start the season well, that is Stellenbosch, and you sort of felt the impact of the travels, because they were involved in Africa, and also they lost a couple of players when they sold them to other teams, because that's their model. But it sort of affected them, crippled them a little bit. So it was a slow start, and then Coach Gavin Hunt came in and stabilized the ship, got them a bit up the table. Now they are in 10th position, and now they're gunning for the top 8. And if they win today, then they get to position 9, and anything would be possible after that.
They really were desperate to get into that top 8 against Orlando Pirates, but today they take on a completely different side in Durban City. A Durban City who were Nedbank Cup champions just a few days ago, and then of course they went away to Siwelele, managed to come back and get themselves a draw. So a stern and a very positive and confident Durban City.
Yes, it is. Had a conversation with the coach, and the first thing I asked him was, how do you control the volume of excitement? You're the champs. Does it still stay in the players' minds, or you then have to switch into focusing on the business at hand? And it's been the difficult thing, of course, for any coach to control the volume of excitement for the players. But you expect a lot of them to be mature to say it's new business now, there's targets to be met, and that's what they need to be able to do this evening.
That's what they need to be able to do this evening. But for a Durban City, a side that actually has done so well this season, I think we must take a hat off to them to say they started off very well this season as Durban City. And you look at their results from those first 5 games, and it really does tell you that this team wanted to get in the top 8. They've been stern, and them actually also getting that CAF Confederations Cup spot in Nedbank is no fluke because of how they started.
It's how they started because of the recruitments that they made just before the start of the season. And Coach Gavin was involved in that. And you take pride in how the team has actually gone all the way to even get a cup, and also to stabilize the position, because now they are in 7th place. And when he left, they were in 8th place. So there's consistency when it comes to that. And to maintain consistency, the preseason has everything to do with that. It's very important, because that's why you build the core of the team. That's why you build build the identity of the team. That's where you set certain patterns and during the preseason, and also the structure when it comes to how you defend set pieces, how you offensively apply yourselves when it comes to set plays. And to add testament to that is the fact that I don't think they've considered a headed goal so far this season, and that is so Gavin-like.
So cementing his place.
Yeah, you're right when you say it's so Gavin-like, because he always builds a team around his spine. Defensively, you've got to be able to do well. The last line of defense. Midfield-wise, they have to be structured in terms of how you attack and how you defend. But also, he's always a coach that wants to have a target man in the box. And that's how Gavin Hunt sets up his team. You look at the team that they're playing against, the same thing this evening. It's always the same structure of saying you need to have a target man in the league. You've got to supply crosses into the box. You've got to be solid in the midfield. And that's the spine. And I'm not surprised to see Durban City having done that well and consistency, because the foundation is always right.
And then, of course, we speak about the fact that, I mean, Gavin Hunt was here at the beginning of the season, but the fact that Peter Dladla came on and took on Durban City, and it seemed like a hand to a glove, seamless when it comes to that move of Peter Dladla. It also goes to show that Peter also needs to get his credit, especially noting that he's taken Durban City through to the Nedbank Cup final, which previously Maritzburg were Nedbank Cup finalists, but he won it this time around.
Yeah, and it was tricky for him, that is Coach Pizzo, because he inherited a team from Gavin Hunt, who has a certain way of playing, a certain style of playing, and then he, also after that he had to inherit a team from Coach Padela. So I remember that in his first game when he took over, I think it was in December after Coach Gavin Hunt, then he went and got a win, a 3-0 win away at Orbit College, and you could see the rejuvenation in the players here, and some of the players actually stood up and came up and showed their ability. People like Abom Kwena, you started seeing more of them and more of the potential. The likes of Abo Masego as well. He's given the likes of Sifumba an opportunity, consolidated the midfield with the Bogenpool and the Jagons, solid in defense with the Jalai as well as the Mashego and the two